This week started out like any other. Monday, I was full of energy. Tuesday, I suffered from a bout of being able to get out of first gear. And, well, the rest of the week is an honest blur of work, mixed with the occasional break to play League of Legends. Yes, I'm addicted. To cap things off, the news this week is, well, exciting is the only way to describe it. So, let's jump right in. This is the Friday News Wrap-Up for the 30th of March, 2012. It seems we can't go a month without saying something about the Japanese bullet hell specialist Cave. But considering how iOS devices have become almost the de facto home of insane shooters, it's hard to begrudge another announcement, especially when it's for Bug Princess 2, otherwise known as Mushihime-sama Futuri, a game considered insane even by those who love difficult games. Originally released in the arcade and on the 360, players can take control of Rico or Palm, selecting from one of 4 difficulty settings for the 3 game modes on offer. Hard Maniac mode is where the real party is at. Slated for release on the 5th of April, the game will be released at a discounted $4.99 and is compatible with 3rd gen or higher iDevices. The iOS platform has seen a few attempts to recapture the fun of the classic Mad Magazine-inspired video game, Spy vs. Spy. But nothing can quite match the over-the-top insanity of the original black and white duo. Thankfully, a remake is on the way thanks to Warner Brothers and Robots and Pencils, and is slated for a release at some point during the summer. Vague, I know, but hopefully the teaser trailer will resurface to give out more details. I'm not entirely sure how we missed this one at the end of last month, but Square Enix are bringing even more goodies to the App Store, and sooner than expected. Guardian Cross is a free-to-play card game that brings together the might of designer Hiroyuki Ito, artist Akira Oguro, and composer Naoshi Mizuta to create what looks to be a very intriguing title. This news came ahead of recent teasers of yet another title to be released in the summer of 2012. However, Guardian Cross is slated for a nearby release this spring. Not only is Beamdog and Overhaul Games' enhanced version of Baldur's Gate for the iPad going to support multiplayer, it's likely to be launched at a price point well below $10. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yes, the classic Infinity Edge RPG is making its way to the App Store, and nerds everywhere likely needed to change their pants after hearing the news. Included in the updated version is an overhaul of the original Infinity engine, along with a new character and the Tales of the Sword expansion pack. Put a big circle around summer if you own an iPad. Having already secured their place as a top-notch developer of challenging platformers for the iOS platform, Ravenous Games of League of Evil fame are trying their hands at a 2D puzzle platformer, where you'll need to help a cat get to his tasty cheeseburger. Insert your jokes here, but the developer is looking for suggestions when it comes to naming the hungry feline. So if you have something clever, hit up the link below and people may just be laughing along with your wit as they complete the game's 60 puzzling levels this April. Despite having only hit the market as recently as last year, Nightfall, a self-proclaimed competitive deck builder, has managed to carve out a place in the board gaming zeitgeist thanks to its fun twist on an established genre. Instead of simply building a deck and relying on good draws to build up victory points, players will need to utilize their cards to inflict wound points on their enemies, while saving cards to defend from attacks that other players can add to with a chain system. Simply put, it's furious and a great blend of collectible card game and deck building elements, and it's heading to the App Store soon. It wasn't that long ago that we showed off some sweet screenshots of Crytek's first dip into the iOS scene, but almost out of nowhere, we now have the full game in our hands. Released yesterday, Fibble is an intriguing and beautifully presented mix of skill shots, puzzles, and timing-based challenges. You play as the blobby, rubbery alien stuck on Earth, and with the help of his alien friends, and a bit of forethought on your part, you'll be able to collect stars, scraps of metal, and perhaps a hidden key or two to unlock new stages. The gameplay itself is horrifically addictive thanks to its easy-to-pick-up style of gameplay that still requires some skill on behalf of the player to reach gold ratings. Later stages also allow you to choose where the alien's friends are placed, requiring some level of puzzle solving when it comes to completing the bite-sized challenges. So far, it's a lot of fun, and we'll have more to report on when our full review goes live next week. It seems almost blasphemous to give away a Game of the Week to anything other than iOS darling, Angry Birds. but Sortigo's charm is so hard to ignore. While the Zelda series may have left its attempt at platforming back in the past, Sortigo gladly picks up the pieces and runs with it. It's not the most polished in terms of presentation, but what it lacks in detailed 3D graphics, it makes up for in a frantically paced game that mixes up the platforming, puzzling, and combat just enough to keep you hooked to the end. If you've been after an action-adventure to hold your interest, this is the game for you. The beginning of April is just around the corner, and we promise not to take things too seriously. Until then, drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts on this week's news highlights. And if you're after more news, reviews, and features, feel free to subscribe here or on our Twitter and Facebook feeds. Have a great weekend. This has been Andrew with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.